Hi, I'm Dawn Masler, and I want to welcome you to Love School. This is the first video in a series to discuss the science of love. We're going to discuss how love works, how to find it, and how to keep it once we find it. But first, I'd like to start by explaining how I got involved with this. I'm a biology professor who is attracted to this. Yes, I was attracted to the bad boy biker. I was attracted to the guy that I couldn't possibly bring to the science department Christmas party. In other words, I was attracted to the wrong guy for me. After I had my heart broken several times, I realized that I needed to make a change. I took some suggestions, I did some work on myself, and I was really happy with the results. I met an amazing man. I wrote a book and I began working with other women that were attracted to men that were wrong for them. In fact, if you'd like some more information, you can go on my website and you click on the book on the right-hand side and it'll bring you to another site that has lots of resources and information. I was pretty lucky. Once I broke the attraction to the men that were wrong to me, I found love pretty easily and quickly. In fact, we've been together for 8 years now. However, but when I was working with some of the women, they seemed to struggle. So what I wanted to do was really figure out what love was. They came to me and they were asking me, how do I date and how does love work? And they'd get into a relationship and they would fumble around and they wanted to know exactly what to do. So I decided to do some research on it. I worked at a university and I had unlimited access to all the research on love, and I figured it won't take me very long. I'll do some research and I'll come back and tell them how to find love. Well, it's actually taken me about 4 years to put all the research together on the science of love. It turns out that love actually evolves. I used to think it was kind of like a light switch. It's either on or it's off. But there's actually four distinct phases when it comes to love. The first, and those phases are based on the neurotransmitters in the neurological activity, what's happening in your brain, and it changes and shifts. So the first phase is attraction. The second phase is dating or courtship. The third phase is falling in love. And the fourth phase is real love. Do you know that the majority of the relationships in the United States end or give up before they ever reach real love, that fourth phase? So that's why I think this work is so important. I want people to understand what love is, but more importantly, to understand how to get to real love, how to get through those phases of real love. I've had women come to me. They've worked with coaches. I've had women pay big bucks for coaches that said, I'm going to tell you how a man thinks. Now, here's part of the problem with that. It's a great idea, but some of in the beginning, particularly in the beginning, our biological responses are on a subconscious level. These are innate behaviors. So you can tell a woman what a man's thinking, but it really doesn't matter because it's his behavior that's being affected, and those are subconscious responses. So what you really need to do is understand the underlying biology of what's happening. Once you understand that, then you know how to move smoothly through each phase to get to real love, of course, and that's where we're all going to. Well, okay, we're going to get to falling in love. Everybody loves that phase. We're going to talk a little bit about that. It's a wonderful phase, but it is temporary. And real love is the lifelong love that we're really looking for. So next week, we're going to talk about some of the biological differences between men and women. This is really important. As we form, we're not just physically different, our brains are actually different. And those differences can have a major effect on how we find, mate, and relate to each other. So we're going to start with that, talk about those differences, and then we're going to move into the phases of love. So I hope you join me next week as we continue on in Love School. By the way, if you don't want to miss a thing, you can subscribe and it'll be sent to right into your inbox. So each week you'll make sure you get this video. You can just subscribe below. Right here? Or is it here? Somewhere over here. I think it's right there. How about that place? See you next week.